Hi, and welcome to Spotlight. I'm Kelly Nash. Today we're joined by an author, William Buchheit. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kelly. Good to be here, man.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, William.
Thanks.
And you've done a project, from what I can tell, it's going to be exciting to a lot of people here in Columbia. You're doing a profile on the Bull Street State Hospital.
I am, yeah.
And what brought this idea around?
Well, Kelly, in early 2010, I was in a bookstore, Barnes & Noble, and I found this book. It's called Asylum: Inside the Closed World of State Mental Hospitals. And it's by a photographer named Christopher Payne. And what he did was he went all across America photographing the interior and exterior of state hospitals.
Okay.
And I thought that was the coolest idea. I'm a photographer myself. And so on Super Bowl Sunday, 2010, I went to the Bull Street Hospital with my camera, and I shot some photos, and I went inside and shot some more photos, and I was instantly hooked on the place. And so over the next couple years, I probably spent 500 hours inside that hospital.
Wow.
Shooting photographs, reading old files that were in there, going over old artifacts, books, and it really piqued my interest in the place.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had to delve into this a little bit more. You had to start finding people
I did.
to interview.
Yeah.
How did you find these folks?
Well, I realized, tens of thousands of patients came through there, and yet so little is known about the place. So what I did was I contacted the Department of Mental Health, and a woman named Tracy LaPointe directed me to a source or two, and I went and I interviewed them, and then they connected me with other sources. And before I knew it, I had written 6 profiles of employees that worked there. And then the trail kind of went cold. I ran out of people to interview. I couldn't get any sources, so I tabled the project for about 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
And then early 2018, I returned to it, took out a few Facebook ads looking for patients and former employees of the hospital, and instantly I started getting results. And then I started interviewing those people and started writing obsessively. And before I knew it, I had about 20 stories. And once I did, I figured I'd pitch the idea of a book. And I pitched it to Arcadia Press in Charleston. They accepted it, and that was about 9 months ago today.
Really?
Right.
So, man, things started moving fast once Arcadia got involved.
They did.
Well, what did you learn during the process about Bull Street?
Well, when people think of state hospitals, psychiatric hospitals, they think of shackles, they think of all these negative things, snake pits, dungeons, lobotomies. And, in my book, there are some tragic stories, there are stories of neglect, but there's also a lot of tales of recovery, stories of victory and triumph. And the overriding theme I found was that, all these employees that work there, they sacrificed so much to help these patients. They gave them compassion when nobody else would, love and compassion.
Well, there's some fascinating stories in there for Columbia historians, I'm sure.
There are.
Where can people get your book?
They can buy it at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, or they can order it through Amazon or Target.
All right. And what's the name of it again?
It's called South Carolina State Hospital: Stories from Bull Street.
Well, William, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you watching Spotlight. The preceding program was sponsored by William Buchheit.